What is good, everyone? I'm going to tell y'all my story about what happened when I went to Florence. I'm going to just say when I went to Covington, right? I'm going to let y'all know. So,
I think I'm ready to jump out the window.
let y'all know. So, I would say maybe about 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, I went to Covington, right? This was my first road trip I had ever went on. And, everything was going great. I was like, my friend was, battling some mental health issues. So I was like, hey, cool, you live out in Covington, so I'm just gonna head out there. So I'm like, but I gotta get my car fixed up first. So I ordered some tires on Amazon, and then I go to what happened next? I ordered some tires, and then once my tires arrived early, everything was cool. 14-inch tires, because 14-inch tires are actually really hard to find in Lexington, especially when you're in Lexington. It is really hard to find. Like, good luck if you have 14. If you have 14-inch tires, they're not really easy to find. I was distracted because there's two people riding a moped, and I lost my train of thought. One second. Okay, I'm just gonna skip to. I'm gonna just reverse. I don't know. So my friend was battling some mental health issues, so I was like, cool. You know what? I'm gonna get my car fixed up, and then I'm gonna head out there. So I ordered some tires. I go to Tire Discounters to have them install the tires. I was like, okay, a wheel alignment, whatever I need, right? So that's going down, and I'm just like, okay. Turns out, my car has a lot of neglected stuff on it. This car is old. This car is 19 years old. So the car's reliable, just old. So I have them fix up everything. I'm like, okay, I want y'all to handle everything. I don't care. Whatever it is, I'm gonna cover it. They told me the total, and they was telling me, my brakes and all that. I was like, cool, taken care of. So new hubcaps, wheel alignment. They said my front brakes are good, bad brakes are bad, my back brakes are bad. So they took care of that. Everything was cool. So I was like, okay. The day comes, right? I work a 10-hour shift on a Monday, and I was like, I'm gonna drive out there. And then I was so tired that I went to sleep, and then I woke up, and then I went to the laundry center. So I go to the laundry center. All of a sudden, I have all this energy. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna drive there. So, after I get some sleep or whatever, I'm good. So I start driving. I got my music playing, Bee Gees, Luther Vandross, all that, right? I call my brother. I was like, hey, bro, I'm about to head out there. I'm gonna hang out with a friend first, and then I'm gonna head over. She lives about 15 minutes away. So I was like, cool, So that goes down. I'm like, okay, I head out there. I start driving. There's semi trucks and everything. I don't have a single ounce of anxiety when driving out there. I feel great. I feel confident. Next thing I'm just feeling great. Like, this power was just taking over me. Like, I got my car fixed up. I got some hubcaps on my car. My car looks great. It's a beater, but I love it. That's my baby. Anyways, I can count on this car to get me places. So I drive out there. I'm hanging out with I'm gonna hang out with my friend. Next thing you know, my car starts rumbling, and I don't understand what the heck is going on, because I'm feeling confident. I don't understand. I'm feeling like Superman right now. Nobody can mess with Superman, really. Without kryptonite, you can't really mess with Superman. I felt like Superman. All of a sudden, I get hit with kryptonite out of nowhere. So that's going down. All of a sudden, my car starts rumbling, and the song that was playing was Superstar by Luther Vandross. And that, I absolutely love that song. I'm just vibing, listening to my 90s R&B, 80s, 70s, Teddy Pendergrass. Who knows? But I would never forget the song that was playing. Superstar, Luther Vandross, literally one of my favorite songs is playing. All of a sudden, I get out of my car. I'm checking, and I don't know what the heck is going on. I look over, and my tire is busted. Like, my tire blew, and I've had this tire for about a week. I didn't understand what was going on. So next thing I know, as I get back to my car, I'm like, hey, she's like, are you here? I was like, hang on, my tire blew. I'll be fine. Just give me a second. I had to breathe. Like, it was just so much going on in my mind, because like 14-inch tires are so hard to find in Lexington. So I'm assuming there is no possible way I'm going to find 14-inch tires in Covington. So that was my mindset the entire night. So, she decided just to tell me just to go home, go to my brother's house or whatever. So I was like, cool, my brother lives about 15 minutes away. So I'm sitting in my car trying to figure out if I should call a tow or what. Next thing I know, I see warning lights behind me. Like, when your car has warning lights, the caution lights, I see those behind me, and I was confused because I didn't see them pull up or nothing. Next thing you know, this guy gets out of his car and he has a toolbox, and I'm probably sitting here for about 3 minutes on the highway, about 3 minutes. She was telling me that her family is about to go and drive on the highway and get me or whatever. So I let them know. I'm like, hey, my tire's flat, man, but I keep a spare on me because I don't know what the heck's gonna go on. So I grab my spare tire. The guy, he asked me, do I have a spare tire? I was like, yes, I do. So, we grab my spare tire. He installs it in like 3 minutes. And then I was like, she told me, she was like, you know what? Hey, just go home. Okay. Whatever. So I got back on the highway with my spare tire, which is something you should never do. You should never, ever drive with a spare tire on the highway. You should not be driving fast when you have a spare tire. So anyways, I did, because it was, what could I do? All these people was around me and stuff like that. So I get back on the highway, drive to my brother's house, and I'm just in the car just trying to relax my mind on what just happened. Because I'm like, dude, there's no possible way I can drive all the way back to Lexington on a spare tire. That is so dangerous. And I'm like, dude, am I stranded up here or what? What am I going to do? Next thing you know, I'm going on these websites. I'm depressed the entire night. And then I search up 14-inch tires near me, and there's this place called Pep Boys, out near Erlanger, right? So I'm like, cool. It's great. They have, and I was like, it says order. I'm like, do I gotta have them ordered to the store or what? So I don't know. So I call them and I'm like, hey, do y'all have tires available? Do y'all have 14-inch tires? They're like, yes, we do. This, that, we'll get them installed for you. Cool. I remember the tire and the install cost me about $14, I believe. Nope, let's say $14. Probably the install was $14, but it cost me $67 in total. Well, that's actually quite low, but I guess because my car is old fashioned and maybe tires are smaller, I don't know, maybe less work, I don't know. But anyways, they installed it on my car. Everything was cool. I don't know what happened, but the moment I found out that they had, a tire my size and they installed it, I immediately got my confidence back. Because I lost my confidence because the guy, that changed my spare tire, he said that he believes I ran over a nail. And from now on the highway, right, when I drive on the highways, I keep an eye out on the slow lane, because I ain't gonna lie, I don't really drive in the slow lane much anymore because of that. So I'm like, there could literally be something that could blow my tire. So I'm like, whatever. But anyways, I keep an eye out now. I don't mind, driving out there. So I drove to Covington. I spent time with my brother, and everything was cool. Me and her hung out. We went to Texas Roadhouse for the first. I had never in my life ever went on a date. Went on Texas Roadhouse. It was great. But that was the second time I hung out with her. First time, it was at her parents' house. It was very nice meeting them. Then the second date, we went to Texas Roadhouse, and that was my first trip in Covington. And then my second trip in Covington, I was in Florence. I went to the Florence Mall. I did that, I did that vlog for y'all. That was my second trip, but my first trip, was a handful. And I wonder if I got a picture of my tire that's blown. I probably do. I'll probably show y'all. But that's what went down. That was my first road trip, and it was great. But right now, I'm just, manifesting my money, and, I'm trying to move and stuff like that. So, after I get everything settled, I want to go on another road trip. That's my goal though. And, I'm gonna try to buy another 14-inch tire. Like, I got a spare. I still got my spare, but anyways, I want to buy another real tire. And that's really what I've been doing. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the little story time. I made 3 videos for y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Y'all, I owe it to y'all so much. Thank you guys for being such supportive. And yeah, that's really what I've been up to. Today I just felt like I'm like, hey, I'm never really a man of my word, but the most I can do is at least try to make some content for them, because I've been uploading like once a month, which is really bad. But I'm like, hey, 3 videos in one day just for them. And I'm gonna try this consistency thing again. I know I've tried it 100 times and I always fail, but when you fall down, you pick yourself back up and you move on like a man. Yeah. Well, yeah, I hope she doesn't hear me. My neighbor, which smile. But yeah, that was really it. Oh, she's leaving. And yeah, I'm out of here. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed today's story time, and that is the video. Peace.